Alright guys, well, hey, it is August 5th. I know, you might be thinking, what happened to the rest of June and July, weed harvest, all those things. Well, it was a very interesting month and a half. We got through weed harvest. Actually, there might be still some guys cutting. I think most people have finally finished up. That's a little unusual for us. We didn't actually get started, well, I should say I started on July 4th, cut one truckload, and then sat and waited for about a week and a half because it was raining or just drizzly for about a week and a half. That was really good. The moisture was really good. The bad part about that, though, was through the month of July, we've had a lot of really bad storms. If you can tell, what I'm standing in right now is the first circle that we planted on 16, and I've already worked some of it. I didn't have to do the whole thing, but there's about 30 acres that it basically looks like this, and I left some strips. Yeah, this is basically what that storm did. I didn't get any early footage. I've been pretty busy trying to keep up. The weeds have been growing pretty fast on us. We barely got the wheat harvest out before the weeds took over because it was pushed so late. But yeah, so this is basically what it did. It just mowed it off, and this corn was head high when it came through here. As you can see over there, a lot of neighbors, a lot in this area have been they're just farming it. It killed it and got it really bad. This circle, so that was that storm. The rest of the circle kind of came back, but not great. We had another round go and hit it again, basically stripped all the leaves and also knocked more corn down because stock was already really weak from that. So well, it's kind of a disaster. All the weeds have come up because there's been no cover. Normally, once the corn gets shoulder high, chemical by that time the chemical we put for the weeds will be running out, but the corn will suppress it because it doesn't allow any sunlight to the ground. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So we're still kind of on the bad side. This is just kind of roughly where it starts getting better for us to get into, and it's not great still. But yeah, this is a pretty good majority. I should probably just go ahead and farm this over a little bit further if insurance lets me. But it is a little better over that way, and then that side didn't get hit as hard. With what little bit of wheat footage I got for you guys, we were cutting a circle right on the other side. That wheat got hailed out pretty hard. I don't know. I'm guessing there's about there was 70% loss there. So it was a bad deal too. There's just a lot of bad deals. There's been a lot of really bad storms in the area. We've been hearing a lot of reports. Some guys to the west of us, probably 50 miles. Anyways, there's some areas you didn't even know it was planted or anything was planted out there. It mowed it so bad. So it's a bum deal. I've been pretty bummed. No farmer ever wants to have to deal with this. You want a good crop. You spent enough money on it to be a good crop. You want it to be a good crop. So yeah, but it's okay. So this is this circle. Some of the dryland got hit. We'll go look at that. I'll show you a little bit of that. I'll show you the double crop milo. It's starting to look decent. Learned some things on that. And I think I even got some footage of that too that you guys can watch a little bit of. So, yep, but that's a little bit of what's going on. Just kind of wanted to show you guys how the crops are doing. I wish they looked better, but that's maybe next year. We always say next year. We've been getting, yeah, let's just go look at the other fields. We're back here at the next field. We're just a little jaunt over here. So here is what is called or considered the double crop milo. Yeah, this could be a disaster still. It kind of has been a disaster. When we finally got this cut, it was like after, was it July 13th? I think is when we finally got this cut. And I got it planted like the 14th and 15th of July. So for us, for milo, that late, July 10th might be kind of the cutoff point. And even that's questionable at that point. So anything past that is definitely questionable. Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen here. It was definitely not desirable. It was super wet still. We basically just mudded it in. Almost got the sprayer stuck in a couple areas because I had to spray it off in 4 loads, small loads, because that's the only way to keep enough weight off the sprayer to be able to travel the ground. And yeah, it was something, but learned a little bit. There's a high straw, a lot of straw. Planter didn't do the greatest. I think I need like a no-till coulter on the front of it to cut through the straw better, or better row cleaners. I don't have very good row cleaners on mine, so that could be part of it. But it's, you know, there's these areas compacted. It not gonna come up on, that might actually be just where I spray that too. So, and it's not gonna be a real great stand. There's some really good areas out here and there's some really bad areas. So I really don't know. Basically everything that was could go wrong with this went wrong. And just didn't work ideally. So that was a real big bummer. Most years, honestly, I keep saying that we got most years. This is a very unusual year. Who knows? We might be settling into this being the new normal. And that's fine. We're just gonna have to switch our thinking a little bit to adapt to that. But, you know, I was still operating off of what I know used to be and felt that we should be able to do this no problem. As it is right now, if we can make it till October, 1st of October, without a freeze, we most likely will be able to cut this for grain. Which should be fine. You know, normally October 10th, I think, is normally when our first freezes are, or October, somewhere in there. It has been earlier. It's not out of the question, but could be. Here's some of the dry land corn. This is mine. The corn that didn't get touched looks great, but this corn did get hit And this part of the side of it didn't get hit as hard as the other side of that circle. So it's here. We're making ears. They're pollinating. So we'll make some corn. It's been, it's been hurt a little bit, so it's not gonna probably be a big yielder, but I guess it's doing better than the neighbors that had to just work theirs up because it did fully kill it. But we'll move on. Show you, don't worry, they're not all ugly. Almost, well, every single field of mine has been hit multiple times this year. Except for where I don't have any summer fallow, or maybe I have been hit there and I didn't know because I didn't have anything to show me that it was hit. But the crops around those areas didn't look bad. Uh-oh. I think I missed a spot out there. I don't know how I did that. Anyways, so this is the wheat stubble. And those weeds were basically chest high. They were knee high when we were cutting wheat. We cut a lot of weeds this year, and a lot of people have. Oh, matter of fact, a lot of people have had to spray and wait for the weeds to die before they could even cut their wheat because it was so bad. We never like to do that. That's never something that is preferred to do. But sometimes we still have to try to do what we can to get what we can off of it. So, and I must have missed that area too. Don't know how I did that, but here's a little more of that milo. You can kind of starting to row. Took it a while to get up above the straw. It's still not there, but it's gaining. It'll be interesting to see if that works or not. I'm hoping it does. Really am hoping. But it looks like, honestly, it looks like I'm gonna have to respray some of those weeds. They're not dying like they're supposed to be. And that just, weeds were big. It was very hard to kill weeds. So it's not too surprising that some have survived and made it through. Looks like mostly on the edge, so maybe we'll just bring the sweeps out and kill those off and move on. That might be what we have to do. But here is other dryland corn. Get up here, my big lagoon. That has been wet all season. Normally it holds water all season, but it's been draining really well. It just, the few times that it's come in, it's rained so much that it would drown everything out. So now I haven't actually walked through this corn yet. It was pretty ugly. It got hit really bad, thinned out really bad. We can kind of walk through and see. You can see it's pretty thin, a lot of shortened up stuff. A lot of it got chopped off. So yeah, not real pretty. Again, weed control isn't the best because, well, when stuff like this happens, you have no cover, and we're late enough now that, you know, chemical that was put down is no longer any value. So, but yep, a lot of loss. Really not good. Maybe worse than I thought it was. So, fella tried to put an ear on. This field, I think, is going to have some good areas and just bad areas. Yeah, it's a bad deal. We'll go by a good field and walk out in it, and you can see the difference. And yeah, it might help you understand just how bad this was hit. But yeah, the good field will be a field that we farm, or I farm, but it's what I do for Robert. So it's good. It's good that there's still some good corn out there. It's just these type of things really hurt. They're not good for anybody. And I can tell you right now, the insurance isn't gonna really do much. I mean, it'll kick in, but it's not been a very good year for it. Prices are way down. So it's a bummer. Let's just put it that way. It's a bummer. And it's worse walking out in that than I thought it was. Yeah. All right, let's go take a look. Show you some of the milo fields. And let you see what's going on. All right, well, here we are. This is the other circle corn. I don't know if you guys remember or not. If you watched back in one of my other videos and watched it all the way through, you would see that this circle was the one that got mowed off really early on. It did come back and was looking really good, and then the same storm that hit the other circle, the one we call 16, hit this one also. It didn't do the damage to this like it did over there. Mostly it just stripped all the leaves. So it has come back and it's looking pretty good. We did definitely lose some yield with that because of it. Just anytime you stress the plant like that, you're gonna hurt the yield, and that's what happened. One of the milo fields. We'll get out and walk through this one real quick. It's just starting to head out, so that's kind of exciting to see. It's actually, I'm really glad that it's up like this, because this one was mowed pretty good. There were a lot of areas. Well, there were a lot of areas out here that I couldn't have done a better job with my mower. It was mowed that clean, but I had a feeling it would come back. A lot of guys told me it'd come back, and it definitely came back. What kind of damage did we do to the plant or the yield? Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't spent a lot of time growing milo. In the years that I have, it's been kind of drought years, so. But it just hasn't been a lot of acres. So, I don't know. I was really glad that this came back as well as it did. Was concerned there's going to be a lot more weeds out here because, yeah, it really got mowed off good. But, yeah, this is looking really good. You can see we're starting to get a little pollen, so we're going to start creating little berries. In fact, we might even be starting on some there, it looks like. Down here, maybe. So, a decent sized head.